So the iPhone 16s have been out for a while and they've matured. Its headlining feature, Apple Intelligence, is barely here. But it has a bigger problem, and this one can't be fixed with a software update. So what is camera control? It's basically a button that Apple has bolted onto the side of the new iPhone 16s. And it's weird. It's a capacitive button just like the fingerprint sensors on lots of budget Androids. But it's mounted on the lower half of the phone where the millimeter wave on North American SKUs used to be. What does it do? Well, it's in the name. It controls the camera. You can do a lot of things. You can control your zoom, your photographic styles. You can change which camera you're using. With the next iOS 18.2 update, you can even use it to fix focus and fix exposure. So what's my problem with it? Camera control is so out of the way no matter which direction you hold it. When you're holding it in portrait, it just feels so precarious and slippery, it could just fall out of your hand. Speaking of falling out of your hand, this video is actually sponsored by dbrand. Kidding, they would never sponsor someone like me because I can match their freak. But I'm not wrong, it genuinely feels like it would slip out of my hands if I didn't hold on to it tightly. But when you're in landscape, it's too far away from where your fingers would rest that it's kind of really, again, out of the way. Your gestures also have to be very well tuned and well timed for controlling camera control. Most of the time you just end up over scrolling. Half pressing camera control also has a learning curve. If you press it too hard, you just end up snapping a picture. If Apple really wanted users to properly use camera control accurately, they would do it more like Sony did. It's a physical, proper two-step tactile button that just does it a lot better than this glass thing on the side. I personally don't have much experience with shutter buttons on phones. So let's talk to someone who does have more experience. This is Aquis, a good friend of mine and a fellow tech tuber.
It may be hard to believe right now, but throughout the mid to late 2000s, shutter keys were quite common on cell phones, even those that didn't have an explicit focus on the camera. But in the 2010s, we saw a push for the removal of physical buttons on phones in favor of maximized screen estate. The shutter key was a primary victim of this change, which wasn't helped by the fact that pressing the shutter often introduces camera shake, which could ruin shots taken in less than ideal scenarios. Only Sony and Nokia continued having shutter keys for their flagships. Meanwhile, Microsoft initially mandated having a shutter key for all Windows phones, but this requirement was removed starting from version 8.1. Perhaps the revival of the shutter key is yet another example of trends coming and going. Since Apple has made a big example of it, there's a good chance that more brands will adopt it for the next couple of years, like what Sharp and Oppo have already been doing for their flagships.
Basically, I like the new iPhones. They're great and fun, but camera control is just one little problem that I have with it, and it doesn't really ruin the experience, but it's just there. It's still cool and useful for those silly Gen Z ultra-wide selfies, but I wouldn't use this to click the sunset because there's a chance that it might just go out of focus. Thanks to Aquis for chiming in on this video. It has been a few weeks in the making, and just subscribe to the channel and follow them on Twitch. All of the links are down below. We're all small creators and we're just trying to support each other. This shirt that I've been wearing this entire time is from 13galaxy.app, where you can directly support the channel by purchasing one of these. It's really comfortable and quite soft, and I enjoy it. It's a custom design and it directly supports the channel, so do check it out below. That's it for today, and I'll see you guys next time. Have fun.